Hi, I'm RC from our Todo Web Tech, and in this video I'm going to show you guys now to implement this web application using ES6 from scratch. And this is how it works. And if I want to add a task to my list, I can, like, for example, task 1, add, text 2, just hit this button, add, and let me add the third task, text 3. You got it. So I can filter through it. If I want to filter through, let me say text 2, like 2, look at what happened. I have text 2 showed up, and I can also delete. So I'm having an affirmation, an alert require me to confirm it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And take this up. If I didn't input any information, it's button add tags. I'm having an alert indicating I should add a tag. So this is how it works. So let's code this. Let's write a code. So we're gonna use what is called materialize CSS, and as the framework. I don't know why my internet is a little bit funky right now, so just click on get started, and I just want to copy this link right here, and let me launch here my VS Code. So in my VS Code, I just open a folder, open a task list folder. There's no file yet, so I have to create it now. Let me create index.html and out of app.js, the JavaScript file. So in the index.html, I want to launching a boilerplate, HTML boilerplate. So here would be a task. Yeah, this would be a task list. And here I want to impute the link to the materialized CSS, and also we need that of the jQuery CDN, and of also we're going to use a font option. For option is this little bit, this deleting to delete a task. Okay, so we're gonna font option. I don't know why this is not working right. Okay, anyway, let me forget about that. So instead of trying to reinvent the code, why? Let me just copy this code and explain what happened. Just copy this raw HTML, and we can do the type. We can type the JS code from beginning. Let me just replace it. So this is our index.html, and let me save and see what happens. So what's happening here, we're going to type in this JS code, okay? And in this, what happened here, this is a reference, this is a link from the materialized CSS, and this is for the font option reference, and in the bottom, in the bottom of it, I'm having this is the jQuery script, and this is our script for materialize. So from this materialize script here, so I also take out the jQuery CDN also, which I took this uncompressed, this code right there, and out of the font awesome, right, icon. I don't know why it's not working. Font awesome CDN. Yeah, I think from there. Yeah, this is it. So I just copied out this HTML link here, and just paste it right here. Where's my VS Code? Yeah, just paste it right here. You got it. So we're having all our link are working. The links is working, and all of the script also is working. All of the jQuery and all of this the materialized CSS script also is also there. So what's happening here now? I think I have to launch in this application from a desktop. Yeah, so this is our task list. I'm just launching, pasting this HTML here, And so this is it. Nothing will happen here. If we want to add a tax now, nothing is going to happen because we haven't implemented the JS code. And in our body we have a dev with a class of container that have to contain everything, and we also have a row, a class of row, dev with a class of row, and column S3. These are all the materialized classics. And also I'm having a dev with an ID of main and a class of card. So card is this border, what you're seeing right here, this border right here. So card. So in a card, we have a card content in a card. So this is a dev now with a class of card content and title. A card title also is what you're seeing here, this task list. So I'm having a row here with a class and a form that's responsible for this form right here. So with an ID of tax form, and also we have a class of input feed with column and S12. All these are all from materialized CSS to make it look beautiful. And I also have the input feed, this input feed right here with a type of test, name, task, and ID of task, and also the label, which is the new task, is what you're seeing here. This label, this new task, is what you're seeing here. And we have this button, which is submit the value of it is hard value with a class of BTN from materialize also. And also we have in here we're having a card action with task title as ID and task, which is this task you're seeing here, this test you're seeing here, with an input feed column S12, and of the input here, this input here with a type of test, name and ID of feature, and also label of feature task, which is this feature task you're seeing here for the label. And also I'm having a UL that's responsible for displaying the tasks UL, and we're going to use Java, the JS script to implement all of the list item that will be displayed in here, like this. No list. You got it, like li. Sorry, say li, which is for all of the list. You got it. So we're having an on order list now, so an li. So we're going to use JavaScript to implement that. So let's begin. So here's our front end, which is up and running. And now, if we want to add a task, nothing will happen. You got so the essence of this application is to enable us to make us to get acquainted of DOM manipulation and invents in JavaScript, which is ES6 in ES6. And so now let's write a code. So if we want to add a task now, we'll click on this button. We want the task to be in here, right? To display right in here in our list. How we're going to go about it? So to do that, I think I have to split this so you can see. So to do it now, let's create a commit, define UI, user interface vars variable, and then in here what I'm going to do now, I want to target this form. Remember, this is like a form. It's a form, not just like a form. It's a form, and I want to target a form. Let's create a constant form variable with a constant, and we want to document dot query selector or select form. So this would be pound sign. Remember, we'll give it an ID of pound sign, an ID of a task dash form. All right, let's put a semicolon here. So we're actually targeting this part right here, this form. This is the form, so we're targeting this form. Remember, in this form, which ends here, this is what we're working with now. We're targeting it with this ID, with the tax form. Right? So that is it for now. So in here, if we put a value right here now and hit this button, right? So we want to listen to this button, right? Which is this submit button right here. So to do that, we're going to add an event. So add task events. So to do that, we want to take this variable, which is the form. We just target form dot add event listener. So which event wants to list him for now? We want to list him for submit. Submit. Because actually, check it out here. We have this input type of what submit and with a value of hard task, which is what you see in here. Then we'll give it from materialize a bootstrap of BTM. I say bootstrap from a materialize. We're giving a class. We're giving it a class of BTM. I always use bootstrap, so that's why I always keep saying bootstrap. And so we want to listing for what submit when this button is clicked, right? So what we're going to happen now, so normal it will go with a form with a function. So we're going to want to pass in the event, and in that we want to also prevent prevent the default. I'll show you how that work while we're preventing the default from happening. Okay, and so what is happening here? Function, function. Why am I having this error here? Okay, I need a comma here, so that's why. So in this now, we want to target this input here, right? This particular input. So to do that, let's use what? Let's create constant variable. Now again, a constant with a task input. Task input. So in this part, we want to document. We want to target what using query selector again to query selector. What do we want to select now? We want to select the task. Sign task. So we just select this input right here, this input with an ID attribute of task. We're using this sign because we are using an ID. If you're supposing a class, we use dot. You got it? Get element by ID or query selector. So, but I just choose to use query selector. You can also use get element by ID, etc. And so what next now is we want to check if there's any input here or not. So if there's no input here, we want to give an alert. Please enter add tags. So we already select our input now. So let's check if there's value here. So I'm going to use an if statement. If task, which is this task now, this input to select task dot value. We want to check if there's a value. You got it. So is equal. That's value is equal nothing. If there's nothing in there, what are we going to do if there's nothing in there? We want to alert the user to tell them to do what? Add a task. You got it. So that is it. So let's save it and see if it works. If there's no values here, which is if task input value is null, is empty. So we want to make sure this message showed up. Add a task. Got it. Work. Add a task is working. Right? If there's an input, nothing will happen, right? So if there's no value at the task, so if there's a value right here, so what's going to happen now? We want to process it, right? We want to process it. So which we're going to use our S statement. So if I should remove this event, yeah, the reason for this prevent default from happening. See if I save it and I didn't have anything here. Okay, no, this is not the best way to show it. I'll show it to you right now. Let me command Z this. I'll show you why we prevented default. You can read it up in W3 School. They have a pretty much explanation there. So if there's something here, if there's something here, so we want, which is s, we're going to use s now. S, so that if there's no value here, we have this message here, we have this allowed added tags. But if there is a value here, what's going to happen? We want to place it here in our list, right? So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to create an li element using JavaScript. So let me put a comment of create. Can I spell create? Yeah, create li element with JavaScript. You got, so instead of li, you know how to create an li using HTML. So here's it. In this our UI on other list, we want to create a list, li list. This is what we want to create. So we have something like tax1, got it, tax2, those stuff, tax2, tax3. Reload this. So you have tax1, tax1, you got it. So this is what we want to create now using JavaScript instead of coding it right here. That's exactly what we want to do now. You got it, right? So we will go back and create an li element. So to do that, we use a constant. We create an li variable of constant. So we want to target document. Just repeating the same thing. Dot query selector. What do we want to select now? We want to, oh no, we want to create. Sorry, so we want to create. So document dot create. We are creating an li. Document dot create. Document dot. If you put dot create, so you can create an attribute. You can create comment. An element is what we want to create now. So in here now I'm trying to explain it as pretty as I can. li. I want to create an li, which is a list element. And then after creating an li, which is, we already created it here, so we want to add a class like this. So to add a class, if I should command z this now, so, and supposing we have this, we want to add a class here, like a class, you understand? So we have something like class here. So this is what we want to do now using JavaScript. Yeah, so to do that now we will add class. So to add a class, we'll take that variable, which is li dot class name, not class list, class name. So the class name we'll create now is which is equal to collection dash item. So this is a item. So this is a from materialize. So remember we have a UI, so which is collection. So to create, to make it look beautiful, so we're going to use this collection item. So we have a class of collection to make the item, which is the list, the element list, to look beautiful. We're going to use this materialized class of collection item right here. You got it. So we want to create a test node now. You understand? So whatever is being input here, you understand? So we want to take whatever is input here now and put it here. So you got it. So actually, what we're doing here now is, if we have a class, if we have an li now, so we create an li which we just created. So put a class now with a what's it called, collection dot item. I think let me close this. Oops. Yeah, so we have this. We want to like create, want to have this kind of if we had something like tax one, yeah, tax one. So this is what we want to do now. Getting it. So this is how to do that. Now we're going to use a node, test node. So we're going to create test node and append to li. So take that li again, variable dot append child. Then this will be document dot create test node. So the test node, where are we getting the test from? Which is this test? We have a tax one, yeah, like tax one, right? So tax one, I'm doing tax one, right? So this would be from where? Where are we getting it from? We are getting it from here. Remember, we have it here. The start input dot value. You recall, right? That is it. Put it here, which is this input right here. And let me close these. So the next thing now is to create new link. Let's create a new link. Remember what this link here, if I have my task here, this link right here. So to do that, I have to type this thing out very fast to avoid wasting time here. So we're gonna want to create a link. Create link. So const of link. So equal to document dot create element. The element we want to create now, this will be an A anchor tag, and then also want to add a class. So you're taking the link we just created dot class, got it, class name, delete that item. And to make things in materialize, to make things appear, which is this, to make things this link appear in our right side. So we're going to use a class of secondary content. Dash content. So we have that now, and the next thing now is to add icon. Remember we referenced that of add icon, the font Hudson HTML. So this way, to add an icon, we take that link dot inner HTML, and we're gonna link dot inner HTML equal to, let's create an icon with a class. We're using font Hudson, right? FAFA dash remove, and we're creating a class. Should be this icon. Then Then what we're going to do now is to take the li, then append it to the link, which is the list. Now I want to append li.append child. We want to append the link to li. So li.append. So what do we want to append here now? So we want to append child, which is what the link to li. So li.append then link. So put our semicolon, and with that, the next thing we want to do now is to append, which will be our final case now, which append the li now to the UL. You got it. So instead we want to target the const tax list equal to that of document dot query selector. Yeah, which is what we want to select, the collection, right? Because we want to append this append the li to the UL. So UL, we have the UL here with a class of, this is what we want to target class. So this would be dot collection, because we use class over there. That's why we're using dot now. Instead, if we should use id and id, we will use the pound sign. So that is it. I think the paste this here like this. And last but not the least, we will take the task list, which we just created, and we want to do dot append child, because that's actually what we're doing. We want to append the li to the UL, right? Append child. What we want to append now is li. So I think that is it, right? Let's test it out. So if I should reload, and if I want to add the task one, let's see what's gonna happen. Perfect. We have our task added. Got it. If we want to add a different like task 2, but there's something, we're having a problem here now. This input box is not clear. It's not getting clear. So to do that, let's clear it here from here. Clear input. So just take the task input dot value. We want to just set value to nothing. That is it. There's not much about that. It's nothing. So that is it. So if I should relate this page and put my new task one, add, you see, we don't have any value over here. So let me show you the function of that preventing the fault. So if we don't have these now, if I should remove these and remove these and save, see what's going to happen when we have the task here. A new task 2. I think, well, I have to reload these, right? You see, nothing happened. You see, nothing happened. So to prevent the default from happening, you get to make it stick to prevent the default from happening. So that is the reason we are using Ctrl+Z of the event and these. I believe now you got it right. So the next thing we want to do now is to work on how we're going to remove. I think I have to reload these to remove our task. So that'll be the next. So to implement it out of the delete, so if we want to delete a task, if you have 2 tasks here, so if we want to remove our tasks, so let's implement that. So in here, let's create a comment of remove task. So we want to create a variable of task list, which we already have here, because we want to select these. We have this here. Let's take this. So we are selecting constant, right? So constant tax list. So we want to select this collection because this is where we want to remove from this hell high, right? The hell high wants to, so we're targeting this u hell right now. So in that part, so we want to take that variable and add the event listener, which is the task list dot add event listener. What do we want to listen for a click when this icon is clicked? So we want to listen for click for a click, and let's create a function here, task. So we have a function task. So let's create the function now. So this would be, we're listing for click, and now we have our function. So the function now would be function. So remove task. So in here we want to pass in an event. E.target dot parent elements dot class list dot contain. So what are we gonna check if it contains? Remember, I'll create this class, the item. Does it contain? Does the target element, this target will click? Does it contain this class? So that is what this code is trying to say here. Remember, we have our we created it here. We created a link. So we create this what's it called? This class name of delete item. So we are just checking, does the target contain this delete item, which is yes. If you check here, if we should check now, this list, in this list, remember we have our task. So in here we have, in this class, in this a element, we have this class of delete item. So we are checking it if it contains that delete item, because what is happening here is a class list. We are checking this delete item class and have the secondary content. So that's what's happening here. So if it contains delete item, so this is what's going to happen now. So if it contains it, so I want you to do if again, if because wants to confirm. So if confirm, so if that is if confirmed, so I want you to remove it. So e dot target dot parent element dot parent element again. So I just want to remove it. Just saying remove. So that is it about the remove, and if we check it now, it will work. So we are targeting the tool, which is the what we are removing here. We're removing everything here from this URL, this hell high here. So that's why we have these two parent element. So we are moving from these, we're removing these and these also. You got it? So that's why we're using these and these right here. So let's save and try it. So if we want to remove our tile, let me reload. Supposing we have tax one, new tax one, and remove. What's happening? Actually, I figured it out. So what happened? I made a mistake. Instead of contain, I put constrain. I don't know what I'm spelling. So that was the problem there. So and I just corrected it, and let me close this. Let me reload. So if we now everything is working now. So if I should add new tags and I hit this button. So are you sure? Yeah. So that is it. So that of the remove tags, we have successfully implemented that. So for that of the filter, let's filter it now. So for that of the filter, Same thing, same process. So this is what going to happen. So we have a comment here, and this should be feature task, feature task. So we're having a constant of feature, creating this variable now. Feature. What am I doing? Feature, and we want to document the query selector dot query select. This time we're going to use all. So no dot query selector dot query selector. So what do we want to select, which is our feature. Feature. For so remember we have here in here to feature this input right here. So we have this ID of feature. So this is where that is what we're targeting here. So and so we have feature document query selector. Yeah, document a query selector feature which we target. So what's gonna happen now when we start typing? You understand? So um instead of that of submit, once the listing for that of submit or click, no, this would be key hop. You got so because in the finished app, we want to search for tax 2. If we put on 2, or if you type something that is not here, when I release the key, which is key hop, not to display, except we have new, it will display. You got it. So that's what's happening here. So that's exactly what we implement right now. So in this part, we want to take this variable here and dot add event listener. So what event listener are key hop? Good. So this should be key hop. That's what we want to add. That's what we want to add. So in here, we want to create a feature task, a function of feature task. So our function now will be feature task. And in this, we pass our event. So in here, the body of the function now, we want to target, we want to make it lowercase. So if we type in with a capital letter, you got to want to make it a lowercase. So to do that, we want to create a constant test here. Whatever test we type in there equal to e. We're taking the target dot target. We're targeting that dot value. Remember the value is what we need in this test box right here. So dot value and so we want to convert it to lowercase lowercase. So we are converting that to lowercase, whatever value that is being typed here. And the next thing we want to do now is to do document dot query document query select all. So this would be all now. We want to filter all through. So in this part, we want to filter through the collection that item, because that is what is in. I think I'll show you this. So if I should inspect this particular element. So look at it, the L higher we have the class of collection items. So that is what we're selecting now. So document us query select all everything there. So if we have 2 or 3 tasks or 20 tasks, we're selecting all there. So dot one loop through using for each. Remember the for each we have a function. A function we're taking like let's do tasks here. Task. So in this function we want to grabbing that test. Want to loop through the test content of it. So this will take constant item equal to taking that task dot first. That'll be the first child dot test content, and if the item here to lowercase lowercase, if the item there to lowercase dot index, you understand how for each loops work, right? Of you can go and check it out in W3 school of the test. Is not equal to -1. If that is not equal to -1, that is we are looping through it. This is what we're going to happen. So if it's not equal to -1, I want you to take that tax dot style dot display equal to block. So we're going to use block here. Block element. We're going to make it to be a block element. S. Let's make it what? Task. You got it. Task style dot display. We'll make it null. You got the logic here. I think we're going to put some semicolon here. So that is it. You understand how it works. So we are just using it for each loop here. For each. So for each of these tasks, so remember we have the task of first charge, the test content, whatever test content that is there in this item. Also, we are using if here, if and else statement. So if the item dot to lowercase dot index of test, which is this in this case, if item the lowercase dot index of is not equal to -1, understand? So I want to display the block S display null. So if we don't have anything in this content here, in this if nothing match it here, match. If there's no match, so I want you to display null. So let's see. What happened? Console to lower is not a function. Okay, lower. What am I typing here? Lower. Save. Reload. So if we have new task to, and if I type nothing here, you see it works because nothing in the content, so we are displaying null. So if we have a match, if you have that, if we have task to here, oh yeah, if we have task, it's working. So if you have tags, remember we have tags for tree, so you have to it will work. So that is working. So this is working now. So the last but not the least, let's work on this clear button right here to clear everything out. So to do that, we're gonna, that's quite simple. We're gonna put a comment here and call this a clear task. So let's create a constant variable. So this will be clear btn. So we are doing document dot query selector. This time we're selecting this. So what are we selecting? dot clear, which is the class task. Remember, we have these. What is happening here now? Okay. So in this part, remember in the clear, we have a class of clear task under of the btn black to make button black, and so we are targeting this now. This clear clear dash task. So that's what we have here, clear task. So we're targeting that button here. That link here. So we are targeting this link right here now using this clear tag. So what we're gonna do next is to take this variable which we created. Don't want to add an event listener, just as always. This time will be click because we want to take note of this click. So here will be click. And also let's create a function of clear task. So let's create a function. So this will be clear task. And not really. So in here, we're gonna use while loop, right? Or better still, no need for that of the while loop. So why not just take that task? We create a task, which be our task list now. There is our task list. We have something that we have to target here, which is the task. We already have that task list created. I just want to copy the task list. Yeah, which is our collection. So let's So we are creating a constant variable of task list, and we're targeting the collection every time because we want to clear it. This collection, where's it? Collection, which is here, right? So we want to clear everything here. So in that part, so what we're gonna do next variable that collection, and just want to dot inner HTML. I'm gonna make it nothing. And perfect, that is it. So let's check it out. If I should reload these and tax 2, so when I hit the button clear, that is it. So this is all about the to-do list web application using JavaScript. And thank you very much for your time, and God bless you. See you in the next tutorial.